Well, let's now bring you today's proceedings at the Lagos State Judicial Panel on restitution for victims of SARS-related abuses and other matters. Well, there are 3 hearings on the panel's list for today, and one of them is further hearing of the Lekki Concession Company's side of events at the Lekki Tollgate on October the 20th. The Managing Director of the LCCI, Mr. Yomi Omomuoson, is being interrogated by Adesina Ogulano, the lawyer to the NSAS protesters.
I'm not disagreeing. Yes, Jesus had 12 disciples.
A name is not attached to the money.
Wait. Your staff in charge of manning the camera.
A unit.
It's a unit.
It's a unit.
How many of them?
They're about 40.
About 40.
Yes.
Who is their head?
Michael.
Michael who?
Michael, I know.
Okay.
Michael, I know.
Okay. Who manned it on the very day, was operating it on the very day of 28th October 2020?
I could find out up to the time we declare that everybody should go home. But after, nobody manned it.
You agree that somebody manned it, but as at now, you don't know who that person is?
Up to 10 o'clock, yes, somebody should be there.
Should be there.
Because it's a control room.
Okay.
There's always, that's our incident management room. You know, in a normal day, people will be there, yes. So we could find out who was there in the morning.
Because for me to really, for you to hate me in finding the truth, you know that your people in charge of manning the surveillance camera is a unit comprising about 40 people. You don't know their names. You don't know the person who manned it that day. Am I right?
Let's correct that. I'm saying, is it okay for me to explain to you? Because I notice when I'm saying something, you smile.
I should cry.
Which shows that you are not actually listening to me, sir. Yes.
You are a prophet too.
Now, I'm saying that there is a unit.
Okay.
Okay? One of their functions is the camera that they use to do their work. Okay? If we are looking for who does what, you need to go into their schedule, their shift pattern to know who is there, who was not there. That's what I was trying to explain, sir.
So, you know who manned the camera that day? Or who, if there are more than one, you know?
I have just said no. I don't know.
You don't know them?
Yes. But we could, using the register, we could know who was there up to a particular time.
I will be needing that register.
That's okay, sir.
I will be needing that register.
That's fine, sir.
So, will it be true now that the evidence you gave before the panel, since you didn't man that camera, that surveillance PTZ camera that day, it's not from your direct knowledge?
It's not what?
It's not the evidence you gave before my lord. As regards the PTZ surveillance camera mounted at the Lekki toll gate, those evidence you gave were not from your direct knowledge of the facts, but as you are told by your staff.
No, they were based on the footage, the camera footage.
Okay.
Because I was not there,
okay.
But we have the opportunity of having a camera that self-operates and recorded something. So we have some of this information based on the footage, sir.
Okay. What the footage you presented to my lord is different from the camera, the PTZ camera?
It's the same.
Oh, have you presented the PTZ camera, my lord? Have you submitted?
The footage we submitted is the
I'm not talking about the footage, I'm talking about the camera.
The camera was not submitted, it's the video, the footage I was not asked to bring the camera, sir.
I'm not blaming you.
I'm just explaining
Thank
to
you.
you. You asked me a question. I was asked to bring certain things
Okay.
and video footage, just one of them.
Okay.
And that is produced by the camera.
Okay. How? Oh, before I ask you how, where is the control? It's remotely controlled. Where is the control located?
The control room
Where?
is located at Toll Plaza 2. Toll Plaza 2.
And what?
Toll Plaza 2 is the office, our office that is at Chevron.
Chevron.
That area. Yes.
Okay. So the person controlling this camera was controlling it from Chevron?
Apology to correct the term, not control. The camera is self-operating, not control. But manning. There's a difference between control and manning. If that's okay by you, sir.
No, explain the difference between control and manning.
Control means somebody is operating it in terms of moving it this way or moving that way.
Okay.
Well, this is an auto. This is a camera that works on its own. That's the essence of the PTZ that I explained.
Okay.
So, but the language here is to man, not control.
Okay, thank you. So if I may ask you, does it mean it has been preset? Because it works automatically.
What's the definition of preset?
That is, since it works automatically, it's panning, it's tilting, it's zooming, it's already programmed.
Now, the way it is set
Okay.
is to enable the camera to cover all the areas.
Okay.
Areas within interest
Okay.
to us as an operation. Because we use the camera primarily for traffic.
I know.
And that's the way we have designed the camera.
Were you the one who set?
The expert that installed the camera.
Who is the expert?
We could get the name of the company.
You don't know the expert?
I don't know in my head here, so that I don't give you something that is wrong, but it's something that I could supply to you, sir. I promise. It's not a big deal.
Now, before I prove it to you, what I have in mind, that October 20, that your camera was not
That's
only
the company camera, sir.
I know you don't have money
There's
for that.
There's a difference between your me and the camera.
You have the money to buy state-of-art camera. I know now. It's not you. Yes.
You never know.
Maybe you say state-of-art. Okay. So, as I was saying, sir, the question I want to ask you is this.
Yes, sir.
On the 20th of October 2020, will you agree with me that not only was that your PTZ preset, there was a human being behind it, directing it because of its irregularity, as shown, and which I will demonstrate copiously to you, as shown by the footage?
I find myself not agree with you, sir.
Okay. Why?
Because what I have watched, I don't know what you have watched, which substantially, remember we talk about 20 hours
Yes, sir.
of camera, which we are privileged to also have a copy. Okay? Substance over form. Substance over form. That's largely what is of interest to me. That camera works sufficiently well, sir, in my view. I allow you to hold your view, but in my own view, the 20 hours footage that I submitted here, there is substantial abundance, statistical corroborations that we can rely on to say this camera has passed the test.
Sir,
that's my view.
I'm not disagreeing, but that's not my...
You asked me.
Hold on, that's not the question I asked you.
Oh, okay.
I said Your camera.
LCC's camera.
LCC camera. LCC camera, from where you get the footage, was not showing indication of just being preset, that of just being programmed, because there were fluctuations, substantial fluctuations in the time of the panning, of the tilting, and of the zooming. Do you agree?
I don't, sir. That's not what I saw.
Okay, now, I want to, may I beg leave of the panel, because I want to demonstrate some things of the footage. If I could ask for the exhibit, it should be played.
Remember what I said, sir, if it's okay for me to interject again. I'm saying based on statistical evidence, based on, a scale of 1 to 10, I have enough to rely that the panel worked very well.
I didn't say it didn't work very well. No.
You said substantial, sir.
Substantial what?
You said you have substantial.
Substantial what?
Part of it to say they did work well.
No, I didn't say it never worked.
That's
well.
what you want to
I said it did not work regularly. It did not work.
What? In my view,
don't
it
worry.
worked well, sir.
Okay, don't worry. You said this camera self-operate?
Self-operate means that you don't need anybody for it to record.
Yes. Your seat self-operate.
If we have the same definition, yes.
Yes, it's self-operate. Okay, yeah, let's go. Now, finally, I can go to 12 a.m. when it starts. That is 12:00 hours. You will see that from 12:00 hours to 1 p.m., that's almost 13 hours. The camera was tilting and panning and rotating at the average of 15 to 19 seconds to capture the entire area. You wouldn't know, but I will demonstrate it to you.
Of what relevance would that one be?
It's not, don't worry.
I'm worried.
Don't worry.
I'm worried because
you are worried.
This is why I'm worried.
I'm sorry to.
I'm worried.
Mr. Ogunlana had conceded that the relevant portion of the footage is from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., which the entire panel and the public watched, and which he also had an advance copy. So asking him questions about what happened at 12 midnight at 1 p.m., I do not know the relevance of that to this inquiry. If he has any issue about the relevant period, he should go straight to that relevant period and indicate the time when he feels that something has gone wrong.
I'm so sorry. Oh, you want to say something? Yes, so sorry. But
I wasn't here when most of this took place, but we are interested, and I think the panel should also be interested. From what I get the drift of the questions, Mr. Ogunlana is trying to establish that there was manual intervention. If it is preset, pre-programmed, it will work, the sequence of changes would would be regular. If there's irregularity, it does not necessarily mean that there has been some intervention, but at least we should hear the evidence. What it's trying to say is that between so period and so period, the sequence was so second. Once that is confirmed, then we'll know whether there's disparity in subsequent, whether it's 5 o'clock or whatever. Then the witness can then explain what the issue is. So I find myself aligning myself with Mr. Ogunlano's line of question.
What, my lord? Oh.
With the greatest respect to my learned friends who align with Mr. Ogunlano, may I, with respect, indicate that this panel is a panel guided by terms of reference. And once parties stipulate a particular evidence as the relevant one in respect of a matter, by consent, we are bound by that understanding. There was a reason we opted not to view the footage from 12 midnight till 4:59 p.m. because we considered it irrelevant to the business of the panel. And what we have all viewed is the footage from 5 p.m. till 8. It is impossible to ask questions over the initial 16 hours under examination when that portion is not before, as it is today, the panel, unless you have to view the entire footage. If any allegation or inference is to be drawn in respect of the footage from 12 midnight to 5 o'clock p.m., then we have to view that 14-hour footage. So I, with respect, will urge that Mr. Ogunlano be restricted under examination to the footage. You can ask questions about anything, but it's about the footage that is before this panel. It has to be limited to what, because it's a real evidence. We have to see what is being impugned, and we can only see, based on what has been viewed, what happened between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. Any question about content of that footage before 5 p.m. will be referenced to a matter that is not before the panel. But we have excluded that portion of the footage. I'm very much obliged.
My lord, I'm a bit amazed because you are all witnesses to history. My learned friend and senior colleagues, I'll just even limit my opposition on issue of facts. We did not watch only 5 to 8. We watched the first 4 hours. You remember? And I asked the question, just a minute. No, the first time we were before this honorable panel, we watched from 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. And that was when the issue came up, whether we are tired, because it was repeating the same thing. So we watch it together. And I've asked my question, I'm asking my question, I said 12 in the morning, and then 1. And I'm still going to ask the question within the hour. And then, apart from that, my lord, we are gentlemen. I think my learned friend must have forgotten this. I want to be quite charitable. When we met outside and we discussed this issue, I said, I will agree only to the extent that when there is cross-examination, what we watch while we are together, and that we agree that it was repeating itself ad infinitum to the 5 p.m., that there won't be any problem. They said there won't be any problem. According to you, whether it is relevant or not, I put the caveat. Do you agree? They said they agree. In what way have I offended them now? At 12 o'clock in the morning, all of us were here till 4 a.m. And that was when we got out. My question now, is still within the hour that all of us saw together. So I will, with due respect, be asking that their objection be discontinued and attenuated, talking legally, the entirety of the footage is the exhibit before the court. It's strange law now. Let me finish now. Please let me finish. You can react with our Nikoko later. You are cutting me. I didn't cut you. Let me finish.
It's about integrity.
No.
Because you have cited me now that I agree with you outside of
you reply to me. Let me finish. Let me finish. You have your right of audience. I thank you. So as I was saying, my Lord, it's a very simple thing. Whether they agree with me in the law, they must agree with me on the fact that we watch the first 4 hours. We watch it, and then we now watch 5 to 8. So they can't complain about these 7 hours. This is my point.
I'm so sorry. Just to clarify the point, your lordship will recall, right from the start, it was my indication that the relevant portion of this footage was 3 hours. But the panel took the view that we should watch the entire 20 so that there will be no indication that anything was being hidden. After we made that attempt, we saw the futility of watching a monotonous record of irrelevant materials. And the panel asked the council to agree, if it's possible, as to what is relevant. We all went away. Mr. Glenn had a chance to look at it, just like the rest of us, and we agreed that having regard to what we are looking at here, whatever happens before the curfew does not appear to be part of the issues we have problems with. So we agreed that from 5 o'clock, after the curfew took off, till 8, when the video ended, was the relevant portion. And we came back, and the panel ruled and agreed. And then that 3 hours was admitted in evidence. That is the implication of what has happened. When you have a long playing record, and you have to tender a response of that part that is the relevant portion. Because there is no way, the lordship will recall, like I said, after I was done with it, I said, by the time I watched the footage, if I needed, I will apply for leave to further cross-examine him, because the footage was not yet played when I cross-examined him. I said, but it's only if I found anything out of the footage that will make me apply for leave to further cross-examine him. So, to begin to ask the questions about 12 midnight to 1 p.m., that's about 11 hours, which nobody has seen. Under cross-examination.
The time is 12 hours to 13 hours.
Yes. That's the question now that you didn't ask.
My Lord, with due respect, when Mr. Owunikoko stood up now, I thought he would give evidence as per the discussion between us. I was impugning his integrity. But I've listened carefully. He didn't go to the issue of the caveat, except if the gentleman is saying, I never put up a caveat in my meeting with the two of them. I put a caveat that, but I will agree for us to continue from 5 to 8 if, when it comes to cross-examination. Let me finish. Pending. Well, in that instance, my Lord, in that instance, this aspect, this aspect is so crucial to my case that, well, they are my seniors and they are saying I'm lying. I will just a minute. Mr. Seriki has said that there was no issue of caveat. I raised it, but now it's our people say it's the person who will lie, who will say, my witness is in heaven. That's the position I put myself. I didn't record the meeting with them. Now, because this is so crucial, may I humbly apply that we could watch all the rest. Yes, it's important. We are here for serious business. I know the meeting I have with you, but you are 2 against 1, and you are senior. So I'm the one line. It's okay. I apply that we watch everything.
We still have 12 hours of the footage.
My Lord?
Are you applying that we take the additional 12 hours?
Yes, sir. Finito. Everything. You can come on Sunday.
Mr. Onikoko, yes, they say they want to build the additional 12 hours.
With due respect, that application is belated.
Yes.
The tribunal has ruled on the relevant time, space in the footage for the purpose of your terms of reference. And it is too late for any of us to indirectly be urging the tribunal to reverse itself. Thirdly, I will submit that the event before 4 p.m. on 20th of October does not fall within the special terms of reference as regards Lekki Toll Gate.
The event of?
The event, whatever happened until curfew was declared at 4 p.m. does not form part of the incident at Lekki Toll Gate on 20th of October. The incident at Lekki Toll Gate has to do with invasion of the premises by armed soldiers to shoot at protesters. That is the incident. And we are all agreed about that. There is no suggestion that the army was there until at least after the curfew was to have commenced. We might argue whether they came at 4, at 5, or 6, at 6. But anything about what was going on at Lekki Toll Gate up until the time of curfew is not part of the relevant subject of inquiry of the panel. And the panel has to be cautious not to exceed its terms of reference, because we want the outcome of this exercise to be something that we can all rely upon. But once the argument is canvassed that the tribunal went on its own folly, went into other matters that was not with it, then it might affect the outcome of all the efforts we are doing here. So I will urge that when it comes to Lekki incident, except for corroboration, which is within the panel public to determine, evidence should be limited to what happened after, till today, but not what happened before. That is not relevant, because things that happened after now can be relevant to determining what happened on that day, but not events that none of us is complaining about up until 5. So I urge that we be limited to the Lekki incident as defined. I'm very much obliged.
Mr. Abolano, yes, we need to make a decision.
Yes, I thought this intervention might help in view of Mr. Onikoko's submission. You know, what the question, the way I understand it, is trying to elicit is very simple. LCC used to do things this way. At this particular time of the that we are interested in, that thing changed. That's what it's trying to establish. Then we should know, why did it change? If before the sequence is 3 seconds, then the one we are interested in, the sequence changed to 1 second, 5 seconds, and all that. There must be an explanation. But there must be evidence brought to show what the sequence of whatever was before the time 4 p.m. to whatever. That's crucial. I think we are all interested in finding out the truth, and nobody should be afraid.
My lord, I will, with due respect, we disagree with Abiodun Onikoko, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, even by the president before here. My lord, General Taiwo was here. We are talking about 28 only, 20 now. There is problem. General Taiwo came and told us about 18, and told us about 19, went to 21, to 22, to 23. He almost got to Christmas. Now, and they were comfortable. We are talking of the same day, and we are talking of equipment used on the same day. Like Leonard Senior Physical said, there is a connect, and it's relevant. There is a connect. There is a connect. He has explained it beautifully. I want to show that there was a discrepancy. The gentleman had said that their machine is automatic, is preset, is self-working. And I've studied and I saw discrepancies. And I want to show is before this time, it was working this way. When it got to this time, it changed. I want to urge on you for two things. One, sir, is a fact-finding panel law. Fact-finding. Yeah. Then secondly, we are talking of the issue of substantial justice. What does anybody lose in when we look at it? After all, the document being sought,
Leonard, so
the document for which the gentleman was to be present is the property of the gentleman. It was not brought from outside sources. It's their property. And the evidence I want to elicit is mechanical, electronic. It was not something that you are going to use pedagogy on. My Lord, it's a simple thing. This your machine was working talala tololo before. Now it's working tololo talala. It's a simple thing, sir. I'm so sorry. It's a simple thing. So I'm opposed to its application.
I've recorded everybody. We need to take a decision on the objection.